Pay attention. This wisdom wasn't written for just anyone. It was left for those who feel something is wrong with the world and that the change begins within. If that's you, then listen with your heart.
Many roads lead to the great path. Only the willing will find their way.
2,000 years ago, King Solomon hid a divine secret in plain sight. What if I told you Song of Solomon is an allegory for spiritual awakening, a love song between man and his awakened imagination? It is not just a romantic allegory. It's a coded blueprint for commanding reality. The entire world around you, your job, your relationships, even your bank account, is just a mirror of what you secretly believe about yourself. In this video, we will break down how Neville Goddard translated the Bible's poetry into potent psychic engineering that can harness the same power that King Solomon used to attract riches, build temples, and fulfill desires effortlessly. God gave us imagination to test drive our reality. But before we proceed, heed Solomon's warning. Getting what you want often reveals you wanted the wrong thing. You never truly wanted the thing itself, only the wholeness you believed it would bring. Solomon tested every pleasure, every power, every worldly glory, only to declare it all vanity. Chase God first. The rest either follows or loses its power to disappoint. Neville's core law is recognizing that your outer world is a 3D printout of your inner self-talk. Your imagination isn't just daydreaming, it's the divine force that shapes your life. As within, so without. If you feel poor, you'll be poor. If you feel loved, love finds you. Your subconscious doesn't hear "I want," it only manifests "I have."
Free your mind.
The Bible states, "All things were made through the Word, and without him nothing was made." John 1:3. The Word symbolizes your inner speech and mental images. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Proverbs 18:21. What we say and how we say it is how we sing God's praises and ascend Jacob's ladder.
Have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief.
You must also revise past events in your imagination to alter their impact on your present and future. By mentally rewriting negative memories as positive, you prune away limiting beliefs. Your subconscious accepts these revised scenes as truth, reshaping your reality.
I thought it wasn't real. Your mind makes it real.
This practice embodies the biblical idea of putting off the old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, and to be made new in the attitude of your minds. Ephesians 4:22. If we walk as though we were already in the ideal that we serve, we will rise to the level of our assumption and find a world in harmony with our assumptions. We don't need to lift a finger to make it so, for it is already so. It was always so. Imagination is the divine currency, the coin of heaven, to purchase your desired reality. Neville uses the parable of the lost coin in Luke 15:8 to illustrate that your creative power is always within you, even if neglected. By spending your imaginative energy on living from the end, not for it, you manifest effortlessly. Think of a scene in your mind, and if you persist, it must materialize. God intimately designed every aspect of your being, body, mind, and soul. To align with this divine design, consciously impress upon your subconscious your dominant thoughts and feelings as they are the loom that weaves your life experience. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. The mother's womb symbolizes your subconscious, the womb of all creation, the primordial forge of the soul. The knitting together mirrors how your subconscious mind shapes your inward parts. Your beliefs, health, and identity are woven into form by a higher intelligence within you, thread by thread. The foolish alchemist seeks gold outside himself, but the wise know it was forged within them before they drew breath. Only the divine bestows the power of alchemy on the person. No school, no book, no instructor bestows that power. They may open doors, but to actually become an alchemist is a power given only by God. It can only be that way. First, you must kneel at the Athanor of grace. The esoteric meaning of Song of Solomon 3:1-4 is decoded as follows. Something you long for. Deciding to change your state. Looping the wish fulfilled until it's conceived in your subconscious, the mother. Falling asleep in the feeling of fulfillment.
Can you please just talk like a normal person?
Here is Neville's translation. While sitting in my chair, I would feel myself right into the situation of my fulfilled desire. And having felt myself into that state, I would not let it go. I would keep that mood alive, and in that mood I would go to sleep. That is taking it right into my mother's chamber, into the chamber of her who conceived me. Back into the subconscious ocean, the unformed, chaotic potential within the soul, the hidden chamber where God shapes your deepest being. Simply stated, before you drift off to sleep, think from the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Neville once imagined being back in Barbados, his homeland, while stranded in New York. Weeks later, he was mysteriously gifted a ticket home. Neville's wish-fulfilled method is deceptively simple, but psychologically brutal, and has 3 steps. Pick a scene that implies your desire is done. Hearing congrats on the promotion or wearing a wedding ring. Loop it in first person until it feels real. Repetition reprograms your subconscious, so do it especially before sleep, when the subconscious is most receptive. Try Neville's method tonight. Close your eyes and feel your hand holding $1,000 cash. Smell it, crinkle it. If it feels real, your brain can't tell the difference and starts attracting it. Assume the feeling of your wish being fulfilled, and it will harden into fact. The subconscious obeys feeling, not words. The 4 mighty ones represent the creative faculties of the soul: imagination, desire, sense, and will. They work together to create reality. Like Ezekiel's 4-faced cherubim, these powers must align. Desire sparks change, imagination designs it, sense perceives it as real, and will persists without doubt until manifestation. Imagination, the architect function, the creative workshop, where mental images are formed. Imagination is God in action. What you vividly imagine and accept as true, your subconscious will mirror outwardly. Use mental scenes to live in the end. Desire, the impulse function, the initial spark, the longing or idea that sets creation in motion. Desire is divine inspiration. It's God, your subconscious, urging you toward greater expression. Desire is not about wanting, but about fulfilling a divine idea. Sense, the perceiver function, sensory awareness, how you interpret and experience reality. Sense determines whether you perceive yourself as in your desired state or separate from it. To manifest, you must feel and sense your wish as already fulfilled. For example, if you desire wealth, you must feel the security and freedom of having it now. Will, The sustainer function. Persistent focus, the discipline to maintain your assumption. Will isn't force, but faith in unseen reality. It's the refusal to let external facts contradict inner truth. When doubts arise, return to your imaginal act.
Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you persist?
Because I choose to.
The four rivers of Eden are not mere geography. They represent the primordial currents of consciousness, the flow of creative energy from these four powers. To master them is to command the very fabric of existence. This is the philosopher's stone of the mind. The moment the rivers converge, and Eden is no longer a place, but a state of consciousness where desire, imagination, sense, and will unite in a single assumption. It is done. The Sabbath symbolizes the restful pause after impressing your subconscious. Once you've assumed your desire is fulfilled, you let go and trust the unseen process. Hebrews 4:10. If your outer world lags, here's why you're stuck. You don't see results yet because you're still doubting internally. You're addicted to reality. Neville says the second you check for results, you cancel the manifestation. It's like digging up a seed to see if it grew. Your only job? Live from the end. If you imagine wealth but still worry about rent, you're telling God, just kidding, I will always be a poor. When doubt hits, snap back to your scene emotionally, like an actor playing a role. Most fail because they obsess over the how. Neville says, stop it. Your job isn't to engineer the path, just to live in the end. If you imagine being debt-free, but then panic over bills, you're reinforcing lack. The feeling of relief is the signal you've impressed your subconscious. This law transcends effort. It's about embodying the state before physical proof appears. Jesus warned, when you pray, do not babble like pagans, Matthew 6:7. Neville's translation? Words are useless without feeling. Most beg God like a slave. Please, someday. But instead, assume you have received it. This is the meaning of living in the end. No if or when. The original Greek tense suggests believing as if the answer is already granted, a spiritual fact, before it manifests. This mirrors subconscious mind principles. What you fully accept inwardly, God reflects outwardly. The Bible's heroes spoke as if the promise was fulfilled already. And whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you have faith. Isaiah 40:29. Believe you have received. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Your subconscious manifests what you consistently impress upon it with conviction. Like Abraham, the father of nations before having kids, his wife was barren, but she acted like a mother and conceived. Like Joshua, the wall is already fallen, so a man can feel his debt gone and receive a surprise inheritance. The catch? It works exactly as you believe. If you think it's hard, it will be. Struggle contradicts faith. The Sabbath is surrender to the law. Swap begging for thanksgiving. That's the Bible's secret. Before you see proof, whisper, Father, I thank you. John 11:41. Persist until it feels natural. Imagination is divine currency. Neville illustrates that your creative power, though often overlooked, is always within you. To find it, persist in living from, not for, your desired state until it materializes. What you desire to hear without, you must hear within. Embrace the without within, and become one who hears only that which implies the fulfillment of his desire, and all the external happenings in the world will become a bridge leading to the objective realization of your desire. But beware, the esoteric key is not in the getting, but in the surrendering. Stop chasing the shadows of fulfillment. The money, the status, the temporary thrills, and instead root yourself in the only pursuit that cannot disappoint, the love and fear of the Lord. Solomon learned the hard way, so be careful what you ask for. Now drop a follow in the next 7 seconds or spend 7 years searching for the stone.
One cannot reach enlightenment by running from death.